I didn't know there was so much debate about this, but there appears to be. Apparently, there is a lot of debate about whether or not Eddie Van Halen used a phaser or a flanger on the intro of Ain't Talkin' About Love. I have always said it was a phaser. I've always been told it was a phaser. I've always been taught it was a phaser, specifically an MXR Phase 90. As opposed, as for whether it was a block logo or a script logo, I always thought it was a script logo because I didn't think the block logo was even around back then. But that's a different debate for a different day. The question is, did Eddie Van Halen use a phaser on the intro of Ain't Talkin' About Love, or did he use a flanger on the intro of Ain't Talkin' About Love? Let's find out. Let's try the flanger now, shall we? Just doesn't sound quite right to me. The phaser does sound exactly like what Eddie Van Halen used to record that track with, to me. So, I'll tell you what, let's take a deep dive and explore a little bit more. I'm going to run that same riff through a flanger, and we're going to try a couple different phase pedals and a couple of different flange pedals, and see if we can come to a determination. Now, again, to me, to my ear, it's the phaser. It's always been the phaser. We tried a couple of different modes on the Phase 95, which does include a 70 script mode. The flanger effect to me is always been a really even more a little too over the top for that riff. What it's designed to sound like is on an old tape machine. If you would take your finger and put it on the flange while it was running, it would knock it would knock it off center, if you will. One of the tape reels would be a little lopsided, and that is where it gets its name. As far as what it actually sounds like, it sounds, a lot of people, myself included, will describe it as, kind of as a jet engine type of effect, and that's, certainly in that, in the Joyo pedal, that's exactly what it sounds like to me. The phaser effect, on the other hand, is designed to mimic the guitar tone itself, or any, whatever instrument you're using it on, going in and out of phase in a gradual rate. It's kind of a warbly effect as opposed to the really strong whooshing effect of the flanger. And, to be honest with you, I don't know that we'll ever know. I still contend that Eddie used the Phase 90 on the intro of that riff. I consulted, if those of you wonder what this video is about, somebody originally commented on an old video that I did 3 years ago or something like that about MXR pedals, where I had said that Eddie Van Halen used the Phase 90 on Ain't Talking About Love. So that sparked a debate. I decided to bring it up in a couple of guitar/pedal groups on Facebook. It sparked even more debate. I think the majority of people, at least the majority of the comments that I read, all seemed to think that that it was a phaser. Some did contend that it was a flanger. Like I said, I still say it's a phaser. Always has been, always will be. Some people were even commenting that he only kicked on the flanger for the last 4 notes of the riff, or he kicked the phaser off for the first 3 notes of the riff, or so. It was some of the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard. Not that it's not possible, but it just doesn't make any sense that he would do that. And also when I hear the song and I hear that particular riff, what doesn't make sense. It just, those 4 notes, whatever it is that you're trying to pick out, just don't sound any different than the rest of the riff as far as the effect goes. That's nonsense. I'm not buying that. One source that I did not consult was Wolfgang Van Halen, and Wolf is pretty active on social media, particularly as he's out on tour. I might hit him up and see if I can get a response out of him and see what he says, because I think if anybody would know, it would be him. And I'm sure there's other people out there that would know, but I want to go straight to the family, But it should also be noted that the 2 effects, phaser and flanger, are very, very similar, and you can absolutely get away with playing, assuming that it is the phaser, and I'm right. You can absolutely get away with playing that riff with a flanger. If you're in a cover band, you're playing bars or something, and you got that song in your set list, and you want to use a flanger for whatever reason, fine, do it. It's going to sound the same. 90% of the people in the audience are not going to know the difference, and 99% of the people in the audience aren't going to give a shit anyway. Which I suppose that could also segue into the question, why am I putting so much energy into this particular topic? And the truth is, I'm not sure why, to be honest. It's, honestly, it seems interesting to me, and people have always been fascinated with how Eddie Van Halen got his guitar tone, because his guitar tone is, Eddie's tone has always been very, very unique. People, tone is in the hands, but nope, not buying that. But, guitar, but playing style is definitely in the hands. And Eddie's playing style was among, one of the most unique ever. And I don't necessarily know that I agree with this, but there is a pretty strong argument that the last true guitar hero that the world has seen was Eddie Van Halen. So, do with that what you will. Do the thing, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. I'm out.